All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're back with a video to react to Greg Doucette, the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave. In this video, Greg Doucette says, how to look like a fake natty. I love this one. How to look like a fake natty? Easy. Do it fakely. Yeah. Hussein Farhat and Mike Thurston. Okay.
And so just based on the bones, just based on their physiques, when you're looking at Mr. Mike and Mr. Hussein, if you
Based on their bones?
had to pick one as being a fake natty, let's assume one is natural and one is not. Who are you picking? Which?
Both, because they both hypertrophied fakely. That's why. Nobody else can do it. For some reason, all these other natural people can't do it, and all of a sudden, these guys could.
Body, which physique looks more unnatural?
Exactly. They're all doing the exact same things that the regular people are doing, yet they look like that, and the regular people don't look anything like that.
Coach Greg, in today's video, two of the best lifetime natties of all time training chest together. Mr. Mike, no, not that Mike, Mr. Delicious himself, Mike Thurston, who claims lifetime natural, who, of course, he isn't, along with Hussein Farhat.
He claims lifetime natural. What is natural? I'll explain this, man. If you're a natural, this so-called natural lifter, if you're building your muscle, if your training is based on sarcoplasmic, your muscles are sarcoplasmic, you're a fake natty, man. Get it? Because the food you're eating is artificial and the gains are artificial. So if you're eating carbohydrates and your muscles are blowing up through the sarcoplasm because you're consuming huge amounts of carbohydrates and pump training, then you're a fake natty. And because muscles are just hypertrophying, because muscles are post-mitotic, they don't grow from lifting. Now, if you injure if you injure myofibrils, if you injure them, cause these injuries to myofibrils, well, they could possibly hypertrophy, but that's based on protein, outpacing protein breakdown. You got to be in positive nitrogen balance. And it can't just happen like full day of eating today and then tomorrow I'm not eating anything or whatever. You don't get these guys like full day of eating. What are you doing the rest of the time? Think about that. Full day of eating should be full day of eating every single day. If you're trying to hypertrophy myofibular growth, that's totally different. Now that I could consider you a natural, natural person. Building myofibrils is, I guess natural. I don't know. Anyway, whatever, man. So they're taking steroids. Steroids do not build muscles. They can aid in hypertrophying muscles rapidly. So you get a guy that's powerlifting on the left, a guy powerlifting on the right. The guy on the left is getting a stronger, but not a bigger. But the guy on the right is getting a stronger and a bigger. And he's taking steroids, but the other guy's not. So why is the other guy hypertrophying? Because he took steroids. And steroids are just going to absorb whatever it is you're eating there, doing there, whatever, and lifting. See what I mean? Muscles hypertrophied. So steroids can aid in hypertrophy, get it? But they cannot build muscles. But they can aid in hypertrophy, either myofibular and or sarcoplasmic. Now, how do you know which one you're getting? Well, it depends. Something you're going to have to figure out.
Who many believe also is a fake natty. I don't believe that to be true. And I'm going to give it to you straight, of which I don't think Mr. Mike actually is. And I'm talking about both Mr. Mikes. Hey!
Believe me, I did a video on my old channel, man. I did 5 workouts once a week. And then I consumed a lot of complex carbohydrates, potatoes, and I gained like 20 pounds in 4 weeks or something, working only once a week. The rest of the week I focused on hypertrophy. And so I gained like 20 pounds. And right away I was pegged as being a fake natty. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, not a fake natty. I don't know. They didn't say fake natty. They said steroid use or something like that. This guy told me, you're buying your steroids from overseas. And holy shit, man. I started getting all these, like, you're on steroids, this, that. Man, people were telling me all kinds of weird shit. The people at that crazy gym that I went to previously where I was doing those videos, they gave me a hard time, man. I don't know what's the matter with these fucking people, but whatever. You know what I mean? I said it was sarcoplasmic hypertrophy in my video. I said sarcoplasmic training, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. These 20 pounds of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy doesn't mean I gained myofibrillar growth. But right away, they assume you're on steroids because you hypertrophy. Get it, man? You understand me? Regardless, sarcoplasmic is fake, and the steroid stuff is fake too because it was induced artificially. That's why they say fake. These fake natties. So these guys induced hypertrophy artificially with steroids, as opposed to eating tons and tons and tons and tons, doing it naturally, eating tons and tons of potatoes. Get it? So either way, they could have eaten tons and tons of potatoes and hypertrophy. Instead, they took steroids and did it artificially. Get it, man? You understand me? How funny this is, but whatever.
I said it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just two lifetime naturals. Mike's shirt is so tight if he sneezes, he'll break a rib. In saying that Hussein is natty and close to your size in like 3 years, magic.
Look, I could show you a picture of Jason Blaha. He was fat and now he's skinny. He was skinny, then he got really, really, really fat, which gave him the illusion that he had muscle. He looked big, but he was just really fat. 300 pounds. Is he natural? I don't know what he is, Jason Blaha.
Next, well, frankly, it's 4, but the difference with Hussein is it's mostly from here to here. Hussein Farhat's upper body, it's stupendous. However, his legs are not up to the same caliber as Mr. Mike. Is it just...
Well, it's the low body fat that gives it away. That's the problem. Because sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, when you start doing it, it makes you look big, but it doesn't give you that ripped look like these guys have. So pumped and ripped at the same time, man. That's where steroids have a very cosmetic look. It gives you a very cosmetic look.
Me, or does this Mr. Mike look like he just finished a workout? Look at him just standing there drinking a coffee with the arms with the bicep vein. And so, do you know how you get...
I mean, they're no different than what's his name? Dr. James, the steroid guy. They're not really any different than him than that channel, Dr. James. The guy that does all that stuff on steroids, man. He tells you about steroids, whatever. They all look the same like him even. They all look the same, man. For sure, it's all cosmetic.
That from being not natural, using performance-enhancing drugs, it's going to extend your pump for that much...
Yeah, extend your pump. Listen to what Greg just said. It's going to extend your pump, but that's not based on DOMs. Getting micro damages getting micro damages is based on DOMs. Did he say extend your DOMs? Getting micro damages, extending protein synthesis? See what I mean? Here's the thing. You don't really need steroids to build myofibrillar growth, and you don't need steroids to expand the sarcoplasm. You can do it naturally.
Longer as well. This actually is natural, and it's using Cialis. If you use Cialis before you...
Because people that are poor and have no money, they have to do it fakely. They have to do things fakely, artificially. Like, look, man, there's a lot of people out there, they pretend that they're rich, They get this car, try to pretend like they spend all their money on this one car or whatever, and they buy like a fake watch, and some fake clothes to try to pretend they're rich. And then you have rich people, they don't fake it. They're actually really rich, man. They go out, they make a lot of money, and they buy those expensive things. They don't need to fake being rich. And then you get these people, they're poor because they can't afford to do it naturally. They don't have the money to do it naturally. So what do? They fake it. And then eventually they get used to doing it. And even if Mike Thurston made money on his channel, which I doubt, I don't think he makes that much money, but to live his so-called lifestyle, if he made enough, maybe he would do it naturally. But at this point, there's just no point because once he started artificially, it's the poor mindset. You know, that's the thing. It's the poor man mindset. They'll just do it. They'll do it artificially. They won't do it naturally. So it'll always be artificial. It has to be maintained how? By taking the drug. It has to be maintained by taking the drug. Otherwise, bye-bye. The artificial fake gains will go away. Just like people pretending to be rich. You know what I mean? Eventually it catches up with them. You know, people are gonna want to know where they live, this and that, whatever. They have just nothing in their bank account. If they don't keep up with the lifestyle, the pretend car, whatever, the payments, and maybe the fake watch or something, or the clothes, who knows what. You know, pretending whatever that they're rich. It won't last very long because it's fake.
Go to the gym and you just carry a heavy object. So, for example, Mr. Mike's phone with all the DMs from so many people, it's going to be heavier than last time. And he's going to get a little bit of a pump from just doing this. If you're not on Cialis, most likely you're not looking like this. If you're natural, if you are natural, most likely you're not looking like this. If you're natural, if you are natural and you use Cialis, well, if you have amazing genetics, you might look half as good as this, which to me is plenty. And so if you're...
Yeah, of course, they have amazing genetics, man. They don't have amazing genetics. These are poor people. They have poor genetics. Poor people, poor genetics. They ate poor food. Poor food equals poor genetics, poor whatever, bro. It's full, but he's full of shit, Greg. The only genetics they have, they're injecting it in their ass. Get it? They're injecting plant genetics.
interested in Cialis and clomiphene, testosterone, which probably could help you to look half as good as these guys, Algo RX, code Greg 10%.
See, look half as good as these guys. Take this artificial stuff to fake it again. See, the whole thing is take my GO2 Max to fake it, take my Turkesterone to fake it, you know, take this stuff to fake it, bro. Okay, you could be like them with my code 10% off.
And off. Remember, they can give you your blood work.
This is the poor man's mentality. Poor man.
They can do the things. It's pharmaceutical, and so if you're interested, click the link.
I mean, there's a lot of poor people online, and then they can't really hypertrophy their muscles because they can't afford it. And so these poor saps, they all get caught up in lifting a heavy weight. The whole thing is they got all caught up in lifting that. And guess what? The government, the police, the military, the whatever, the National Guard, whatever, all these people that are out in public, they love small, strong guys, these so-called skinny and small, strong guys, because they're not a threat. The only time people feel threatened when you go around, when you're big, like if you're big, like built with like myofibrillar growth, and you go around people, I guarantee you, they're going to be uncomfortable around you. They're going to feel threatened. I can guarantee you that 100%. If you put on size and you walk around people, they're going to constantly be threatened around you because it's unnatural to see somebody with that much, if you did build myofibrillar growth, that much myofibrillar growth in size coming around them, because they know that that size of muscle is threatening because you're stronger than them physically. You're physically threatening. You're stronger than them because you're bigger. Bigger is associated with what in this world? Stronger. Not small guy that lifts a heavy weight or skinny guy that lifts a heavy weight. Do you think they're threatening when they walk around in public and they tell people, guess what, though? I could lift 500 pounds off the floor. Do you think people, how do you think they respond to that? How do you think they respond to, oh, I could overhead press 150 pounds or 200 pounds or whatever. Do you think they feel threatened that you could overhead press to do that? Or do you think they're more threatened by you if you have the size on your body?
Guys, look at the size of Thurston's arms, the vascularity.
See, listen to Greg right away. Look at the size of Thurston's arms. He wouldn't have said that if he had no size.
That is not a natural arm. You can debate me till you're blue in the face, but Thurston, he does not look natural in the slightest. In comparison, at least Hussein, it looks like he needs to get a pump first. Notice he's got the pump cover on. He doesn't show up to the gym looking jacked. Now, unless Thurston does a
I don't see Farhat that threatening. He's small. He's still kind of small. He just has low body fat, and that gives the illusion. That gives them the illusion. Him and Thurston. Thurston maybe slightly bigger. I don't know.
Bunch of push-ups in secret before he even gets to the gym. Perhaps he trains at home before getting to the gym. I don't know, but this...
Yeah, but here's another thing. Because they look better than the majority of people on these cosmetics, they feel threatened. Just like, look, a woman comes up and they're wearing makeup, right? They're put on tons and tons of makeup, and it does make them look good. Because, I mean, that guy that comes on Omegle, he looks like a... He's a dude. He puts on a bunch of makeup and he looks like a woman. And people, they misconstrue. They think he really is a woman. It's because the makeup makes him look that way. It's fake. It's fake, man. Get it? But, yeah, and they feel threatened after. When he starts talking like a guy, they feel threatened because they fell for that. They fell for that fakeness. Get it? So they all feel threatened after. They're upset. Just like this, man. You know, you understand me? The people online, they hate these people that fake it because they feel threatened because they're like, hey, they're better looking than us. So they must be fake natties. They must be fake natties because they look better than us. They are, because they used cosmetics to fake it.
It doesn't look natural.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Keep track of everything that's inside.
Why doesn't it look natural? Because it looks better than natural. It looks cosmetic.
We haven't even started to work yet.
How you always get important?
That's the way it is.
Exactly. Even Hussein notices.
Yeah. Why do you think these people take different types of steroids? Because they're all competing to look better than the other person cosmetically. What is the point of taking steroids if you can't exude a very good looking cosmetic look? That's the whole idea. People go on it. They go on it because they want to look better than everybody else. They want to look better than everybody else. Me personally, I just wanted to look threatening. I wanted to hypertrophy and look menacing when I walked out in public, and it worked. It really worked, man. Believe me. You could take notes. Take notes, man. Hypertrophy your muscles and go out in public and look menacing and look at the reactions that you get from people. Go to government offices and things. They're going to be frightened. They're going to be scared of you, dude. You understand me? Now, what makes people hate these guys? Because they don't look entirely massively menacing, but they look cosmetically really good. And that is very threatening to people that go to the gym, because their whole idea, look, man, 90% of the people that go to the gym, 99 or even 90, well, let's say 99% of the people that go to the gym are looking to look good, but the gym doesn't make you look cosmetically good. Food will make you look good, and if you had good genetics passed down from family members that didn't eat peasant slave food diet. But the more peasant slave food diet they ate, the more it's passed down these bad genetics to you. Get it? So you're going to the gym because you're trying to exude a cosmetic look like on steroids, and good luck with that. It will never happen. If that's the look you're trying to get, a cosmetic look like steroids, then you're going to have to take steroids, bro, because no gym can ever create that for you. A gym can't do it for you, nor can just eating steaks all day. I'm sorry. You'll look good. You'll look good for sure. You will look good for you personally, yourself. You can make yourself look good, but you can't make yourself look like a person on steroids.
Were you already pumped? It's just the way it is. Well, imagine he's responded, 10 milligrams of Cialis along with a bunch of peptides.
Yeah, your body doesn't make Cialis. See what I mean? You don't make Tren. That's why you don't look like Tren. You have to take Tren to look like Tren. It's kind of obvious.
And I actually did a bunch of push-ups before I met you, and so that is my secret. Okay. Imagine if he said that.
Every single set, I go to failure.
And so Hussein, he trains a lot more like Coach Greg. You show up to the gym, there's no tracking involved, you do what you want, and you train to failure. You train harder than last time. Yeah. If you outwork other people, you put in the work, you train hard, you're going to get better development.
Yeah, you outwork other people, you train hard, you're going to get better development. No, you're not. He's lying to you. Just because you went and worked hard, you're going to get better development than other people. They didn't do any of that. They didn't work hard. They worked smart. What did they do that was smarter than all the other people? They took drugs and they faked it. Get it, man? They worked smart. They faked it to trick you and to try to take your money now. That's it.
Than almost anyone. You give me two identical twins. One follows an exact program, perfect based on science, but doesn't train hard enough. The other person, they don't do all the best exercise, they don't track anything, but they train hard. Person who trains hard, they're making more gains.
That's not true. The person that trained hard is making more gains. So let's get the guy that trains really, really hard, and let's get the guy that takes steroids. Which one do you think is going to get this particular look? The guy that trained really, really, really hard, or the guy that took steroids? See what I mean? And who's going to get it faster? Who's going to get it fast, whatever, and going to get it? Steroid guy. It's kind of obvious.
So I used to train, yeah? And then I started to get old. And I was like, fuck, I can't handle this amount of volume. Stress.
Mr. Thurston, he's trying to explain why he doesn't do as much volume, why he doesn't train as hard as he once did. He's saying he got...
Because he doesn't have to. He's on steroids. That's why he doesn't have to train as hard as he has to or anything like that. It's maintained by steroids. It's cosmetic.
It's not that he got old, it's that he's already built up his muscles. Once the muscles...
He didn't build up his muscles. He hypertrophied, yeah. It's maintained. This hypertrophy is maintained. This cosmetic look and whatever, this hypertrophy is maintained by steroids.
Have been built. Perhaps you're using testosterone or peptides or SARMs, or you've been going to the gym for 15 years and you've already put on a lot of muscle. If all you want to do is to maintain it...
Yeah, peptides, they don't build muscles, man. Again, they don't build myofibrillar growth peptides because you have to be in positive nitrogen balance. So no matter how much peptides you take, you need to be in positive nitrogen balance. And I don't think that a peptide can do that. It's impossible, get it? You understand me? Because you need food to hypertrophy. It's kind of obvious.
You only need to do...
You need protein.
1/3 as much as you used to. And so what does that mean? Well, if you used to do 6 hard sets of chest, you now only have to do 2. And so it's a lot easier to keep the muscle once you've built it than it is to build it in the first place.
Yeah, okay, man. It's easier to keep it. No, it's not. You keep it by taking the steroids. You can't keep those fake gains after you stop taking steroids, dude. Hello.
And many of you, you know this. You know that muscle memory is a real thing.
No, muscle memory, that's all bullshit too. People come in the gym, they're untrained, first training, satellite cell fusion, hypertrophy. And then you call it newbie gains. They become adapted to their exercises. So they're no longer getting the progenitor cell to donate its nuclei to support further muscle growth, because that's not their training anymore. They're not training like that to get that, because they don't know what they're doing. And so, yeah, it's all bullshit. He's lying to you. This muscle memory. You went away. That's not muscle memory. You got damaged. You went away for a long period of time. You came back. You got damaged. You got a donation of nuclei again. So you have a little bit more nuclei, and they can rapidly repair, remodel, and grow your muscles slightly bigger. They'll come back, and it'll make it look like they got bigger, faster, whatever.
Nuclei, the whole thing. You know that once you've built said muscle, even if you take time off, if you've been...
Once you built the said muscle, you don't build muscle. Muscle's post-mitotic. You can only hypertrophy, myofibrillar or sarcoplasmic.
Been sick, or if you've been injured and you go back to the gym, the gains that you once had, they come back faster than ever before.
No, they'll come back faster because you get another donation of nuclei because you're unaccustomed, untrained, get it? And then you get a donation nuclei hypertrophy. But guess what? After that bout, if you're not in positive nitrogen balance or getting these damages to come back, you're not going to hypertrophy anymore. That's why everybody says muscle memory. Okay, so what happens after the muscle memory thing? You come to the gym. You come back after you've been away from the gym for half a year, something like that. I don't know. Supposedly you atrophied, which is, yeah, whatever. It's like newbie gains. Your newbie gains atrophied, and then you go back to the gym a year later, and then you get a newbie gain again all over again. See what I mean? You got muscle memory. Now what? What happens after that? Nothing. At zero.
And so Mike, he doesn't want to go to the gym for 2 hours each and every day. He wants to get in and get out. He wants to keep a pump. He wants to look good for the late.
Yeah, he wants to train for pumping. He just wants to pump his muscles up. Because I told you, it's artificial. It's sarcoplasmic training. It's fake. Fake. So he's on steroids, and he's even created fake hypertrophy. He didn't even do it. He didn't even try to build myofibrillar growth because he doesn't give a shit.
He's the men, I don't care. And so he does the minimum to get the most. And I see nothing wrong with that. Case in point, myself. I live.
Yeah, you see nothing wrong with that because he's just keeping up with the Joneses, the fake look, the fake cosmetic look. He's on steroids. He doesn't have to. He's not interested in building myofibrillar growth or anything. He's just interested in faking the look because he's an influencer. He gets paid to do that online.
Weights 2 days a week. I do a full body workout twice a week or perhaps twice every 8 days, and that's all I need.
Yeah, that's all he needs too. Just like Greg. Greg just takes steroids and pumps his muscles up. That's all he does. Why do you think he has such low body fat? And why are his muscles big? I know people on TRT. They're skinny. They could have low body fat depending on what they're doing on TRT. I don't know. But Greg has low body fat and pumped up.
I don't need to have more muscle. I have plenty. Remember, I already built that muscle, and to keep what I have.
He didn't build any muscle. Muscle's post-mitotic. Greg didn't. Greg's delusional. He never built any muscle. You hypertrophied, but it's pump training. It's sarcoplasmic. It's fake.
It's a lot easier.
I don't have all the time in the world just to like lie down and rest. Like I have like loads of other things going on.
Now, frankly,
if it was myofibrillar growth, then Greg wouldn't have to take TRT, because if he went off the steroids, then you would notice it would stay. You would notice like there would be size there. It wouldn't just like go away. But if the size is going away rapidly after you take away steroids, it was all sarcoplasmic. It's just garbage.
speaking, he does have all the time in the world. It's Mr. Mike. I mean, is he going to try to convince us that he has a 9-to-5 job or he's working 100 hours a week? He has no time to go to the gym. Mr. Mike has it easy. He's kind of like Coach Greg. I can train whenever I want. I can travel, I can train. And so when he says, you know, I'm too busy.
That's the point. He's an influencer. He fakes it. He doesn't have time because he's busy doing this, whatever he's doing to make money.
To go to the gym. Stop making excuses. Yeah. I mean, of all the people in the world, Mr. Mike, if he wanted to train 2 or 3 hours each and every day, if he wanted to become a cyclist, he could actually do it. And I'm not talking about cycling steroids. I'm talking about riding a bike. If you want to be elite level at bike riding and rode his bike 14 to 20 hours a week, he absolutely could do it. He has plenty of time. Stop making excuses.
Years ago, you told me like you were giving tips on how to like build a business and build like a personal brand and be successful on YouTube. And one thing that you mentioned is like stay away from controversy.
I would give the opposite. Lean into it. How does it work for, I don't know, Togi or, for example, Clavicular? Would any of you even know these guys if they weren't controversial? Togi bragging about abusing performance-enhancing drugs, rubbing in our faces, and Clavicular being Clavicular. Why do you think we're even mentioning these people's names? Because of the controversy.
I don't want to get to that extent.
Why are they rubbing it in your face? Because why wouldn't they? They're laughing. That's why. Because everybody's trying to achieve that in the gym, and gyms don't achieve that. Get it? Not the way they think it is, and it will never achieve a very steroidal cosmetic look. Good luck with that. You understand me? That's why they're laughing. He said in his video, Hussein Farhat said in his videos that, I watched these influencers and they did this and this, my favorite influencers. Then I found out they took steroids. You understand me? Because he was trying to be like his favorite influencers. And guess what? He found out they took steroids. So what did he do? Take steroids to look like them. Get it, man?
But when you're friends with Greg, it kind of just happened. Well, we were going. It's like got like 200 million views that month.
How's it working for him? Well, he's literally in Dubai working out with you. And so it's clearly been highly effective. You might be thinking, oh, but people think he's a fake natty. Yeah, they think he's a fake.
Again, if you're an influencer, man, and you're out to make money, why wouldn't you take steroids? Your whole business revolves around it. You're making shitloads of money. You understand me? And people gawking at you all day. They're looking at you. Do you think they're going to look at you because you look ugly and fat? No, they're going to look at you because you took steroids. Get it? And they're going to keep making videos on you about being a fake natty. And that brings more attention, more clout, more whatever. That's the whole idea. Because you threaten them with your look.
Natty, despite the fact that he is 100% natural. And so
Yeah.
why not talk about it? Just stay away from it. Delete everyone's comment. You're a fake natty. Delete? Is it not better to...
Trust me, I've been in many gyms, like throughout the 80s, 90s, whatever, the millennium. And I could tell you, man, there was a lot of steroids in those days. And the people felt threatened around these people who walk around in the gym on steroids, and they felt threatened by them. One of the things that threatened them was their size, definitely threatened them. And then their look threatened them. They would walk around, look at them, and yeah, because they all looked ordinary in the gym. Nobody looked extraordinary because nobody hypertrophied, because muscles are postmitotic. And they only hypertrophy when protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, or you can hypertrophy it artificially when glycogen outpaces glycogen breakdown for an extended period of time. Again, when you do that, guess what? You can hypertrophy. But nobody's doing that in the gym. They're lifting weights in the gym. They're not hypertrophying. When they go home, they don't hypertrophy. Do you understand? Because they spent all their time in the gym. They spent all their time in the gym breaking down proteins. Now they have to go home and replace them.
Tell people to their faces, you're a loser because your genetics and work ethic is worse than mine. I'm better than you. They're then going to get their panties in a knot.
What? Steroid people now complaining to each other? What? Greg's delusional.
And think, oh, I hate you. You're a fake natty. You're a liar. And so the controversy, it keeps going. Hussein Farhat is one of the most famous, what people say is a fake natty in the world. One of the most famous in the world.
Yeah.
And so is it actually working for him or is it not?
I've watched people like Simeon Panda, Madden's Fitness, where they would document the process of trying to prove that they're natural.
Yeah.
And still people are like, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Mike, he brings up a great point. Even if you try to prove that you're natural, people still aren't going to believe you. We've seen that.
Nobody's natural that is building sarcoplasmic muscle, man. You understand me? Nobody's natural.
With Hussein. He's posted his blood work 4 times. He's done a lie detector test, and he's passed every single time, yet people still say he's fake natty.
Look, I'll explain this. To build myofibrillar growth, you have to do it naturally. You understand me? It has to be done naturally. Even if you take drugs which do not build muscles, steroids do not build myofibrillar growth. They don't build muscle. Muscle's postmitotic. It has to be done naturally. So when you go on the steroids, you still have to build myofibrillar growth naturally. You understand me? If you built it naturally and you went off the steroids, it would be there. But because you didn't build it naturally on steroids, you don't have any. So when you go off the steroids, you shrink like a bitch. And you can't figure out why you shrunk. You shrunk because you didn't build them naturally, myofibrillar growth. You have to injure them repeatedly. Periodically. You have to come in periodically into the gym and you have to periodically injure them, and they have to go through a repair, right? A growth and a remodeling, bro. Get it? So you still have to build myofibrillar growth naturally, regardless whether you take steroids or not, because steroids don't build muscles. You get it, man? Because steroids are what? I mean, muscles are what? Postmitotic. They don't grow. Get it, man. Now, I said hypertrophy, but there's more than one way to hypertrophy a muscle. You get it, man? There's more than one way to hypertrophy a muscle. But to build myofibrillar growth, it needs to be done naturally. But to build sarcoplasmic growth, like the pump training, whatever, is based on glycogen. It's based on carbohydrates, which is artificial. Get it? You're still building this artificial hypertrophy. And you're taking steroids at the same time. You see how stupid that is?
Mike Thurston, on the other hand, where's the blood work? And so Mr. Delicious Mike, he says there's no point in trying to prove that you're natural because people aren't going to believe you anyway. This is true.
You mean-
But if you don't try to prove it,
They're how do they prove they're natural? Go off their steroids, and then whatever's there, it's natural. Whatever's not there, it's not natural. Get it? Because to build myofibrillar growth, you still have to build it naturally. Holy shit, man.
they're going to believe you even less. And so
Again, steroids don't have magic hands. They don't micro damage your myofibrils. They don't micro damage them for you. You got to do it naturally in the natural world. Get it? You understand me? Now, steroids can aid in protein synthesis and glycogen synthesis, right? It can aid in that, in synthesizing glycogen or protein. So it can aid in doing that, but you still have to do it naturally. You still have to cause these micro damages to the myofibrils. Otherwise, they're not going to build, man. Get it?
hey, do what you want to do. If you really do want to prove that you're natural, you have to get your blood work taken when you're looking really good.
Check out these amazing chair covers from Temu. They're made from this
When you're looking really good with no notice whatsoever, and it can't be a drug test, it needs to be blood work because the blood
Okay.
work is going to tell the story. And then if you want to send your blood work to myself, remember, it has to be done with no notice. If I go through your blood work, I'm going to see if you're natural. Now, it doesn't prove that you're a lifetime
Greg's going to see if you're natural, bro.
natural, but if you're at your all-time best right now, and someone says, yeah, but you used to take steroids, how are you better now than when you used to take steroids? We've seen Connor Sinan, we've seen him, we've seen how much muscle he lost. That is what
We have we? Okay.
literally happens in the real world when you go off steroids. And so if you take steroids and you stop, you're going to lose muscle. And so if Mike wants to prove he's natural, he just has to look as good as he did when he was in Ibiza with the red shorts. You know what I'm referring to, Mr. Mike. And get your blood work and send it to Coach Greg. And I'm not talking about just your testosterone, I'm talking about everything.
I think a lot of people do underestimate what the human body is capable of naturally. I feel like there is a lot of crazy freaks out there that are just, they're genetic freaks.
And remember, Mike, who wants you to believe that he's natural, he believes himself that Simeon Panda is natural, despite the fact that Simeon Panda hasn't shown the blood work, the full blood.
Of course, he feels that he's natural. That's not how you test if these people are natural. How you test they're natural, that they built myofibrils, that their hypertrophy. Okay, if you want to know if their hypertrophy is natural, you're going to have to put him in, I think, an MRI. I think that's the one that will actually find out. So that one, the MRI can distinguish between myofibril growth and sarcoplasmic. So take him and put him in an MRI, and you'll find out whether their muscle is natural or artificial, okay? If it was built naturally or artificially. So whether it's sarcoplasmic or myofibril growth, okay, dude?
Work to show all the other variables. And so why would you believe him? Would you believe me if I said, hey, I'm
Blood work cannot tell you whether he has myofibril growth, natural growth, myofibrils, or is it artificial growth, sarcoplasmic? Get it? It cannot tell you that. It's impossible for blood work to tell you any of that. Greg is a liar.
natural now, I'm not any
How does he know that this guy's he built myofibrils as opposed to sarcoplasmic? He did it natural as opposed to artificial.
HRT? Why would you believe it? But if I then posted my blood work and you saw my LH and F,
But what does that have to do with myofibril to sarcoplasmic artificial muscle growth? You can't tell from a blood test. He's lying to you, LDL.
LH in the normal range, my
What
testosterone
about your testosterone being in normal range and that? That has nothing to do with sarcoplasmic to myofibril growth. Sarcoplasmic is artificial muscle growth. Blood work cannot tell you, hey, this is sarcoplasmic, it's artificial.
was normal. You'd be thinking, well, maybe Coach Greg went off HRT. But without the blood work,
Yeah, but if he goes off HRT and he shrinks and they shrink, then you'll know it's sarcoplasmic. Here's the thing. How do you know it's sarcoplasmic? Tell them to go after drugs. When they go after drugs, it'll shrink. They'll shrink. That's why The Rock shrunk. The Rock and Batista, they all shrunk rapidly, fast. Want to know why? Because they never built any muscle naturally. They hypertrophied artificially to the sarcoplasm. Duh.
You gotta call cap.
I'm the biggest way why.
Did you need blood work to find out that Batista and The Rock built their muscles artificially? No, because when they went off the steroids, it went away. Get it, man? You understand me? If you built it naturally, myofibrillar growth, it doesn't go away. It makes you look very dense. It won't go away when you go off the steroids. This is bullshit.
Probably 190 something. 7.
And so Hussein, he weighs in at 187 pounds. Mike Thurston, he's closer to 210.
I just told you, why didn't the guy on the left powerlifting, the guy on the left, and then the guy on the right that did powerlift, they both got a stronger, but they didn't get a bigger. But the guy on the right, he got a stronger and he got a bigger because he took steroids. You understand me now? They did the exact same exercises, but the guy on the left didn't get it bigger. Why? Why didn't he get it bigger? See what I mean? But the guy on the right got it bigger. But the question is this, the guy on the right, did he build myofibrillar growth? No. But he got it bigger. Most likely what? Sarcoplasmic. You understand me? Because the guy on the left, if his muscles would have grown because it was myofibrillar, if lifting a heavy weight could build myofibrillar growth, then he would have been bigger, right? But he didn't get bigger. But the guy on the right got bigger. He got bigger because he took steroids. So, but what made him get bigger? Because the guy on the left, he didn't get bigger through the sarcoplasm nor myofibrillar growth. Definitely not myofibrillar. But the guy on the right, he got bigger. So it's most likely what? Sarcoplasmic. Because it's not based on myofibrillar. That training is not for myofibrillar growth. Powerlifting is not training for myofibrillar growth, bro. Get it?
About 20 pounds bigger than Hussein. Hussein is about an inch, perhaps an inch and a half taller than Mike. But wait.
He's taller. Hussein is taller than Mike. Mike looks taller than Hussein. But whatever. They look the same. Cosmetic-y. Yeah.
He's 20 pounds less than him and isn't as lean as him. Y'all realize that Hussein is not nearly as big as Mr. Mike? I mean, you can say whatever you want. You can blame it on not having a proper
So what? He's smaller in stature. Okay.
tan. But Mike Thurston is actually massive. And if you don't believe it, I worked out with him. Remember, I'm an IFBB pro, and yet he still had more muscle than me. And so just based
He had more hypertrophy than you? Okay. Yeah, okay.
on the bones,
He doesn't have more muscle than you. He's not carrying any muscle. He hypertrophied. Yeah, okay.
based on their physiques, when you're looking at Mr. Mike and Mr. Hussein, if you had to pick one as being a fake natty, let's assume one is natural and one is not. Who are you picking?
I don't know. I'd have to put him in an MRI, but most likely all their training is pump training, so it's artificial. They're both fake. It's both artificial gains, sarcoplasmic.
Which body, which physique looks
So apparently there was a 20%
looks more unnatural?
It's almost better if you
Both do, because they're cosmetic. That's why.
gradually start building up your income over time instead of like 0 to everything.
Yeah, but none of these guys are building up their income like that in muscles.
It's hard to
I see what you mean. Yeah, because
Now, guys, I know it's
They're just lying to themselves, man. It's for the camera, for people out there to listen to them put out this bullshit.
not a financial channel, but I do like to coach you up a little bit.
Whatever.
As far as money is concerned, you only need a little bit. When you go from, say, $50,000 a year to $100,000 a year in terms of your income,
You just need a little bit. You need a lot in this world. You need a lot of money to live. To live comfortably, you're gonna need a lot. You don't need a little. You need a lot.
it's night and day. It's a huge change. But
Because that comfortable lifestyle, you have to support it with the money. It needs to be supported by that money.
to go from 100,000 to 200,000 is not really that big of a deal. To go
It is a big deal.
from 100 to a million, there's less of a difference than going from 50 to 100. When you're buying
Still a big deal.
cars, the car either works or it doesn't. If you get a $50,000 car and jump to a $500,000 one, it's not that big of a deal. It's not
Why isn't it a big deal if you go from $50,000 to a $500,000 car? most likely that car may go up in value because you bought something that's valuable.
really worth it per se, unless you're making so
Look, ask yourself this question. What has more value, sarcoplasmic muscle or myofibular growth? A person that did it fake or a person that did it real? Which one's going to have more value? Think about that. You putting in real work in the gym, right? You putting in real time and work and eating and everything, building real myofibular growth. Which one has value? The person that built myofibular growth or the guy that built the sarcoplasmic fake muscles, whatever, and even took steroids and faked it? They took steroids and still faked it because they don't know how to build myofibular growth. They don't know what it's based on.
much money that it doesn't matter. Once you have money, you have money.
Yeah.
To go and buy a $5 million car when you already have a $0.5 million car, there's almost no difference. It's like,
Look, I had a friend. He took some Sustanon 250. He took very little, and he got big like this Hussein Fart Fat guy and this other guy. It wasn't like he got massive gains, but he looked like these guys. It was cosmetic-y. He said the pumps were crazy, got really pumped up all the time. Anything he did, he got pumped up. He said walking up the stairs, my legs got pumped. Anything I do, I get pumped. And he said it was annoying after a while, getting pumped all the time. And I said, well, you got to stop eating carbohydrates and you won't get pumped. He goes, yeah, but then I'll look flat. He says, when I stopped eating carbohydrates, I looked flat. Why did he look flat? Because not based on myofibular growth, protein. It's not based on protein building myofibular growth. It was based on keeping a pump from eating carbohydrates. So the gains were fake. See what I mean? And here's what happened. So eventually he went off the steroid. So he managed to maintain for quite a long time, I guess, the drug. It circulates in your blood for almost a year. So he was able to because of the drug staying in the blood and this whatever, these fake gains almost lasted him a whole year, pretty much. But eventually, when it went out of his system, out of his blood, because of the long life it has in your blood, when it went out of his system, the gains went away. Because they were fake. They went away, man. Get it? Because it was fake.
a 10% jump for 10 times the money. And so be thankful that you don't need to be a multimillionaire to be happy. You do need to work. You do need to study. You do need to get it.
Again, anytime you fake something, you're going to be disgruntled. You're going to be pissed off because it's fake and it'll go away. If you do it fake, it will go away because it was fake. Just remember that.
Job, but by making 10 or perhaps 100 times more money than you do right now, it's not going to make that much difference.
Would you recommend me to move?
Yeah.
If I was you, I would definitely go to like where all the action and the potential is for just elevate yourself even further. Yeah.
If I'm advising Hussein on where he should live, he needs to avoid Miami. There's nothing good in Miami for someone like Hussein, somebody who's religious, who's not
Right.
partying harder than last time. This is not the place you want to be. And never mind the taxes. When you live in Canada, you're essentially giving 50+% of your money to the government right away, and then there's taxes on top of that. In comparison, Dubai, the taxes are almost the lowest in the world. And so if he had to pick a place to live, it's clearly better for him to be in Dubai. Sorry, United States, that is the truth.
Have you competed before? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was 23, 24.
Have you competed? I've done, I did one show. Greg coached me for it.
And so remember, he entered a bodybuilding competition that was drug tested. The only problem is they never tested anybody. Let me remind you, just because you enter a drug tested bodybuilding competition doesn't mean that people are going to think
Okay, man. Whatever.
that you're natural. Doesn't mean that everybody is in fact natural. But if you do
Yeah, he's natural, man.
enter a drug tested show, it would be kind of nice for them to actually do some drug testing.
Again, can you build artificial muscle? Yeah. Do you consider something artificial natural? Ask yourself that question. If you built it artificially, right? Like you hypertrophy through the sarcoplasm, you built it artificially. Is it natural?
So they don't have problems like this.
At iHerb, we make and
Actually do some drug testing. So
Look, again, the majority of people that go to the gym, the majority of their hypertrophy is artificial. It's artificial. It's either what do you call it? Inflammation, 10% inflammation. They're constantly inflaming their muscles they're maintaining this artificial inflammation look, 10% inflamed body. Or also they're eating, it's transient too. They're eating a lot of carbohydrates. The majority of people's diets are like 85% carbohydrates, bro. Their gains are fake, man, a lot of it. They're not building myofibrillar growth because it's uncomfortable. Here's the thing. It is uncomfortable to build myofibrillar growth because number one, you have to overwork that muscle. You have to put in the work to really overwork it to get these micro damages. And it can only happen periodically. And then when you do get it, wow, you're going to be in pain for the next 3-4 days. Like you're going to be in pain. You know that? Like you can't come back to the gym. And here's another thing. Now you have to be in positive nitrogen balance. So you have to consume a lot of protein. So do you think that people really want to do that in the gym? They want to go through that pain every single week and they want to be in like positive nitrogen balance? You think they have the money and the time to consume all that protein? No. They just want to go to the gym, pump up, and then they go eat their carbohydrate dinner, whatever, and then they go, oh, look, I got pumped a little bit. They get some inflammation, they get pumped, whatever. That's it, basically, because that's what you get. You get what you put into it. If that's what you put in, that's what you get out of it. You get it, man?
You don't have problems like this. And remember, further show Hussein actually had a proper tan. And so when you're comparing his physique to Mr. Mike, maybe, just maybe, if he had a proper tan, he would be making Mike look bad. And so clearly you can see now that Hussein has gotten a pump, his physique is catching up to Mr. Mike. He's standing in the background of the side laterals, and you can see visibly the chest is getting bigger, the arms, the vascularity.
Yeah, he's getting pumped up. He's getting up there because he's getting pumped now. Get it? Oh, and plus if he had a tan, wow, he would look like Mike Thurston. Yeah, sure.
This is a true story. When I go and meet people in person who have never seen me, they've been a fan for years, oftentimes what they say is, you're way bigger in person. And I'm thinking, why do they all...
You're way bigger. You're way pumped. You look bigger because you give the illusion because you have low body fat. It gives that illusion. I know that for sure because your observation tells you that. Because when I looked at people back then, some people in the gym, they would come in, they weren't really that big, but they were really ripped. And it gave the illusion because there was just that look they had. It looked like they were bigger than they were. But when they put on a t-shirt, they looked really small. The funny thing is, I remember this guy coming in, he was wearing a t-shirt. He looked really small. When he took the t-shirt off, he looked really big because he looked really ripped. So it gave him that illusion, that look.
think that I'm small. I feel I look fairly big on camera, but one thing I do not do, that I never do, is a bunch of push-ups, bicep curls, side laterals before recording. Many people think that, oh, I care so much about how I look. I mean...
Yeah, see, listen to what he said. I don't do a bunch of exercise to pump myself up artificially, to give off an artificial hypertrophy look when I meet these people.
I do, but not so...
Because he's already pumped up from the steroids. Get it? It's maintaining the pump. Look, this fake hypertrophy look.
Much that I'm going to, like, do a fake thing, like pump myself up to...
Of course he is. Of course he's going to do a fake thing. He's doing it right now. It's fake. He's taking steroids. And his training is fake. It's sarcoplasmic.
Look better for the camera. I don't do this. I show up and I record. And so...
Let him prove it. If his muscles are real, let him prove it. Go into an MRI and prove that your muscles aren't sarcoplasmic. Prove it. Blood tests aren't going to prove whether you faked it or not. You have to prove it. You got to go in an MRI and show that you actually built myofibrillar growth. And guess what it's going to show? I can guarantee you, 0. Greg Doucette built 0 myofibrillar growth. Get it? Other than the newbie gains when he probably first came into the gym or some bullshit. Other than that, there's nothing there. It's all sarcoplasmic.
Oftentimes people see me, I'm in the gym and I'm working out and I have a full pump. And so, of course, I'm going to look bigger.
I wouldn't say it's okay.
Yeah, you go to the gym and you get a pump because that's his training. It's based on pump training. It's based on artificial hypertrophy. And get it?
Sort of, I've been struggling to find the right person because I've found a lot of very good candidates. So that's not always. Also, being way to pull the trigger.
Wow, I mean, is that not telling? Mr. Mike is like, look, it's not that I haven't found the right person. I've found a lot. He's talking about wives or husbands for marriage and so on. As he's saying, I just don't want to give up.
He hasn't found anybody because nobody's interested in him. Women are not interested in him, man. They're just not. They're not interested in him. Something about him is feminine still, regardless whether he took steroids or not. He just gives off this feminizing thing. I don't know what it is, but something feminine there.
The freedom of not having kids. And so here's the thing. If you've met a lot of people.
If you're overthinking one thing for weeks, pause.
People. A lot of women, let's call it. Let's assume that he's not gay. He's met a lot of females that would be a great wife. Well, where are they now?
Look, let's assume he's not gay. Maybe Greg is gay too. Who knows?
No. Like, just because you're not ready to have kids, you can't have a girlfriend, you can't be engaged, you can't have a wife. I mean, if you really love that person, they're amazing, they're perfect, why aren't you with them? It's not that he hasn't found the right person. He's found a lot. Great candidates. It's that he feels selfish, that he doesn't want to be a dad right now.
He feels selfish. He wants to be a dad. He wants to party his whole entire life. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. I mean, it's up to him.
Want to have a family, and he's not ready to settle down. Well, you don't need to have a kid just because you can. Like, you're allowed to just stay with that person and say, hey, I'm in love with you, you're a great person, I would love to spend the rest of my life with you, and let's just not have kids right now. I see nothing wrong with that.
I've had a very good experience with women. If you're a guy, you can't complain about being with someone or dating someone when there's literally been red flags everywhere.
He's right and he's wrong. Here's the thing. Look at this guy. Are you looking? Mr. Delicious himself.
Mr. Delicious, are you looking? Are you looking? Man, Greg is funny. Are you looking? Mr. Delicious himself. He's just pumped up. That's all he is, man. He pumped up through his muscles. He pumped them up.
Girls, do you think, want to go with a good-looking, fit multimillionaire? In comparison,
a good-looking fit. So pumping up your muscles, right, with carbohydrates, taking drugs, it means you're fit. It means you're fit, and it means you're good-looking. All of a sudden, you're good-looking. What did he look like when he wasn't pumped up? Do you guys know what he looked like? Let him show some pictures. I don't know.
How many men are good-looking, rich, famous multimillionaires? There's not a lot. And so most men, they take what they can get. Mr. Mike, he gets whatever he wants. And so he has his pick of the litter, so to speak. And so he's saying he dates excellent women. He doesn't have to pay them. They're great girls.
Yeah, okay.
And technically, for that, I believe him. I believe he can date a really good girl. Other men, when they experience these women, they realize...
Why would women... They don't want to date him, man, because they see him, he's all into himself.
I can't get the girl that I want. And so when I settle for this girl, so she's not good. And so if you want to get girls like Mike, well, grow a little bit taller, get a proper tan, have the proper hair transplant if you do, in fact, lose your hair. If you don't have an amazing physique, do like Mr. Mike claims and be 100% natural. Now, if you're 100%...
The thing with them is they look great. It's cosmetic. Do they look threatening? Not particularly. They don't look threatening because they're not that big.
natural, you can, of course,
take... You want to be 100% natural? Take Turk Builder. You'll be 100% natural. Your muscles. Your fake muscles will be 100% natural because it's built by Turk Builder.
Turk Platinum. You can take Turk Builder Max. You can get Blue Lob.
You could build these sarcoplasmic muscles with Turk Builder or GO2 Max or the lobster shit, whatever.
And if that doesn't work, you can go to Al Gore X.
And guess what? And if that doesn't work, well, guess what? Then you could go to Al Gore X, bro. Get it? And that's going to help too.
And say, maybe I have low levels of testosterone. Maybe you need HRT.
See? And then maybe you just have low testosterone. You need HRT. So testosterone hypertrophies muscles magically out of thin air. Get it, dude? Yeah, man.
Maybe you need some clomiphene. Perhaps you need peptides.
Maybe you need some clomiphene, or maybe you need some peptides or something. Why? Why do you need these things? Think about it. Why do you need all these things? If all you have to do is go to the gym, lift a weight. If you lift a weight, muscles are going to hypertrophy magically, right? You're going to build a muscle and all that kind of shit. All that bullshit. How come it's not working for any of you? Why do you need these things? Why do you need Code Greg? Because you're all coping. Everybody's coping in the gym. Everybody's cope there. That goes to gyms, they're all cope. Everybody. As far as I know, if you're asking me personally, I'm telling you, people that go to gym are cope. They're coping. They don't know what they're doing in there, so they're coping. I'm not saying they personally coping. I'm saying they're coping because they don't know what they're doing, and so it's cope. It becomes cope. That's all, because they don't know what they're doing.
Ask Mike if he's ever...
They don't know how to build myofibrillar growth. You understand me? Then they get all excited when they get the pump. They eat carbohydrates, and then all of a sudden they discover, oh, I get pumped. So then they consume more carbohydrates, go to the gym, and keep getting pumped. And they get all excited about getting pumped up. They don't, in the back of their mind, they're not really thinking what's going on here. But they're like, but I'm getting size. That's all that matters. Oh, that's all that matters is getting size. Okay. You know what I mean?
Use peptides and see what he says. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm just going to tell you, I don't
Hey, use peptides and see what he says. Yes.
believe that Mike has never used peptides. I believe he's used
I don't know. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. And so what? What if he did? They don't build myofibrillar growth.
peptides. I don't know if he's used testosterone before. I don't know to the extent of it. I don't believe he's lifetime natural, but I believe he's using something. Even
You don't believe he's a lifetime natural because he never built myofibrillar growths naturally because he doesn't have any. They have to be built still naturally to have them.
the Cialis alone, along with the proper tan, it does go a long way. He clearly has gifted genetics. I'm not saying he's on trend. I don't believe he's ever used that. But I believe there's some periods in his life where he's used certain things more than others.
So it's usually like it's the men's fault looking in the right places and not being tempted by, you know, the seductive vibes that some of these women are giving off.
Yeah, like think of it. I mean, Larry Wheels in a similar situation to Mr. Mike, although not quite as attractive.
Larry Wheels put on 53 pounds at the Golden Griddle in 1 week. I know, that's myofibrillar growth. He built muscle. He built 53 pounds of myofibrillar growth in 1 week, right? You understand me going down to the Golden Griddle. You understand how ridiculous this is?
He is in fact taller and has a lot of money.
Well, that's his new wife that has disrespected him and keeps doing it.
But yet, what if you go for a girl who doesn't choose you back? You know, somebody who perhaps wants to be with Rampage Jackson.
If you're tired of paid trading groups and hidden fees,
They don't choose you.
How did this video get to be an hour long? This is really weird, man. I don't know. 24 minutes? Okay.
You got to be careful. And besides all that, you know, you do what you got to do. You know, I'm just trying to give you advice, but this advice, you do have to take it. If you do get married, you sign a prenup. I don't care what you want to tell me. I don't care about any of that shit. A prenup is a must. You can date whatever gold digger that you want. She's hot. She's worth it. Hey, by all means, if she's making you happy, who am I to judge? But sign the prenup. And if she says no, there's the door. You found out exactly what you needed. She's only after you for money. If she makes you sign that prenup, a prenup of which puts you at a 30% greater chance of staying married, then she's literally trying to find the back door. And I'm not talking about your back door. You don't want to get pegged.
Yeah, especially the way you find them, where you find them. It's really important. You find a girl at the club, and they're expecting to get married, you know. So at some point.
And so exactly, if you're meeting
Find the girl at the club expecting to get married.
somebody in the club, well, she's a club girl. What do you expect? I mean, I'm not saying that there's no good girls at the club, but the chances of meeting one there, they're very slim to none. And so how do you in fact meet them? Well, it is in fact very hard. My best advice would be to try to find them doing the
boring,
thing,
man.
have to make the first move, but yet
Yeah. If there's a hot girl, she's got a couple 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
You send a DM, you're one of hundreds, if not thousands of guys who are basically like,
Yeah, but you're Mike Thurston.
and also please
Yeah, but you're Mike Thurston. Okay.
realize that all the
He's
girls
special.
with the thought photos, you know, the half naked photo.
Yeah.
he's got like guys, he's got literal stick legs, that's why he's wearing the bag.
He's not lying.
And so Mike's calling him out. He's like, why do you think he's wearing pants? His legs aren't up to the caliber of muscle, although they're better than most guys. It's just compared to the supreme development of the shoulders, the chest, the arms, they're not at that level. And so why Hussein looks so incredible and has so many fake natty accusations is because the majority of muscles are here. They're in the tank
Maybe he's not hypertrophying enough, okay? I don't know, man. Who cares?
top, the show muscles, the beach bod muscles. With that small of the waist and muscles all here, he just
Maybe
looks
that's the look he likes. He's not taking that much or whatever he's doing there.
like a fake
To hypertrophy.
natty. He isn't, but he looks it. I mean, clearly, visibly, he doesn't look
I love him. He isn't, but he looks like a fake natty. He isn't fake natty, but he looks like one. Can you prove it? Put him in an MRI and prove it.
natural. Now, if you took all of those muscles, let's call it 20 of those pounds, and you spread it out,
Prove that's natural myofibrillar growth as opposed to sarcoplasmic. Prove it, Greg. Greg can't. You can't prove it with a blood test. He's full of shit.
evenly over his body. You added 10 pounds in his legs, perhaps you widened his waist a little bit. Everyone would say natural.
Again, muscles are postmitotic. They don't grow from lifting or eating. You can hypertrophy muscles through sarcoplasmic or myofibrillar. One requires micro damages and it requires being in positive nitrogen balance. The other one, it doesn't require very much. It just requires that you go to the gym and pump train. You pump up your muscles moving weights around. That's all you have to do. And eat a lot of complex carbohydrates, okay? And you'll be pumped like crazy eating carbs. That's all. It's really simple. Is it natural? No, it's fake. It's fake, get it? So a person that does it so-called naturally, fakely, are they natural because they ate fucking carbs all day and went and pumped up their muscles? See what I'm trying to explain to you? It's fake. Fake is fake.
They would say clearly he just works out hard, but because of his genetics, making the waist look so small and having smaller legs and all the muscle being
Because of his genetics, what are you talking about?
in the exact places that you want as a man, that is why he gets so many fake daddy accusations. Hey, I'm just telling it like it is.
He gets fake natty accusations because it's fake. Get it? Fake is just fake. He took something, whatever, he faked it. This isn't, he didn't, this is, his training is not based on myofibular growth. None of them are. That's why it's fake, okay?
You see how
It's sarcoplasmic training, pump training, like they said in their video.
Mike's waist actually looks wide? It isn't. Mike's waist is small.
And they take steroids to maintain a very low body fat, and they're pumped. It's sarcoplasmic. It's really simple.
difference is Hussein's waist
No blood test is going to tell you that.
is minuscule. It's invisible almost. It doesn't exist. And so that is why he looks so crazy. It's not because he has so much muscle that it doesn't make any sense. It's because his proportions are out of this world.
Because he has so much muscle. What's so much muscle? Prove it, Greg. Prove that it's muscle, that it's myofibular growth. Prove it. You didn't prove anything in this video that this guy built myofibular growth, that underneath all of that skin, it's myofibular. Greg never proved anything. He got a blood test and said something about hormone levels. So what? That has nothing to do with myofibular growth to sarcoplasmic.
World. Even next to a specimen like Mr. Delicious himself, you can see how small the waist is. And so, of course, Turk Platinum, Turk Builder Max, all the supplements you can...
Exactly. That's how easy it is to build all these muscles. Get it? Be natural. That's why you have to take Turk Builder and all these things by Greg Doucette. Get it, dude?
Use creatine, you can use GLP.
You could use creatine, GLP. What does creatine do? Put water in your muscles. What do you think those guys have? Water muscles. They got water muscles. Get it, dude? For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water being drawn between the skin and muscle into the muscle. Giving you this, what? Sarcoplasmic look, broski.
Max to help reduce your cravings. Can use Test Platinum. All the products, don't forget about the Seco bars.
Yeah, Seco bars and products to fake it, of course. Because you have to fake it because none of you can make
CICO
it.
for 50% off. And there's the money back guarantee with the $50 gift card. And so please try out the supplements if you're interested in becoming an athlete, part of HLT Supplements. Click the link and apply. If you want to carry the supplements, sell them in stores or gyms.
Yeah, if you want to be part of the program, sell them in gyms or whatever online. You could become an affiliate, man. Maybe I should become an affiliate and sell these products to people on my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'm out of here, friends.